Well, good morning, everyone. So happy to see you. So glad that you're joining us again on our Devo for the Sum It Up series. We're talking about the miracles of Jesus, which is just an amazing study. Sort of verifies, authenticates everything about him. And today's study looks at the two blind men that were healed in Matthew chapter 9. And it's a fascinating story. The more you look into it, the better you enjoy it. And I go slowly and usually word by word, and I find all those wonderful messages that come out of that just for me. There are many other miracles listed, especially in this chapter. There's at least 3 or 4 that are mentioned there that you need to take note of, because it is fulfilling prophecy about Jesus Christ that comes out of Isaiah chapter 35, where he said that, even to John the Baptist, he said this about John's inquiry. John had sent messengers to ask Jesus, "Are you really the one? Are you truly the Messiah that we were looking for?" And he took that question out of the Old Testament, where it was said that Jesus would heal the blind, he would make the lame to walk, he would cure lepers, that the dead would be raised, and that the good news would be preached. And Jesus said, go back and tell him, this is exactly what's happening. This authenticates who I am. The miracles are there to authenticate who he was and what he had come to do. These guys had a physical blindness, true physical blindness. And in verse 27, we find that the two guys were helping each other get to Jesus. And that's a little bit significant for us to see too. You need somebody along with you. When you're seeking the Lord, when you're moving ahead in faith, trying to get close to Jesus, it's good to have someone along with you. These guys also were pretty desperate to get to him, because they were crying, they were calling. They called him Son of David. They approached him as the true Messiah, because Son of David meant that he would be the one fulfilling all of those requirements to be classified as the Messiah. So already up front, they had some faith in this Jesus and what he can do. And there's no telling what they had already heard around town about what he was doing. And we find them entering the Levi's house, that authoritative minister from the synagogue. His daughter was dying. Jesus had just resurrected her. And somehow they wind up in this Levi's house, and they allow Jesus to minister to them. In fact, they anticipate, they ask him. And Jesus, of course, spoke to them, and he said, "Do you believe that I can do this?" And so they answered the Lord, "Yes, you can, Lord." They gave him that title of being exactly who he was. And so Jesus took time for them, and he said, "I will heal. I will touch you, heal your eyes according to your faith." And that is a key word that comes through this whole chapter. Faith, faith, faith. If you were to look through it slowly, you would underscore faith again and again. And that's what it was all about. So here's a lesson for us. We should follow him like they did. We should ask him for help. We should touch him. We should let him touch us. We should believe in him. We should show tremendous reverence for him. And to conclude, I want you to think about a spiritual blindness too, because Jesus came with good news to save and rescue those who were spiritually blind. And that applies to us today. Is it possible that Christians can be spiritually blind? I think so, because we see the people of Israel going through it all the time. and again and again. And he says in the Old Testament, come back to me, come out of your darkness, leave what you're doing and awake and get down to business with me. And the way that happens, the way you can solve spiritual blindness, is to get into the Word, to walk with the Lord, to go into the good news, stay close to Jesus. Interesting, and this I conclude. They all got close to Jesus. They all expressed faith. They all followed him. They all asked him for help. They all then went and testified about what he had done for them. That's this story of the two blind men being healed. God bless you. Hope you have a wonderful week.